Toronto rents are on the move yet again. If you're an investor in Toronto, a renter currently renting or looking for a new place, here are the numbers that you need to know. Let's jump right into the rentals.ca data for the month of June. And June's really a good month to evaluate where things are at because we're pretty much halfway through the year and have just gone through the spring market, even on the rental side. If we're taking a look at the average rent for the entire country in Canada, national rent is in and around that $2,100 a month, down about 3.3% from last year. Let's jump in here to the national list. And Toronto's actually coming in on number 5 most expensive rents in the country, which is pretty interesting. North Vancouver, number 1, Vancouver, number 2, Burnaby, number 3, and Coquitlam, hope I said that right, number 4. Toronto, Oakville, 5 and 6, and Burlington coming in at number 10. So these are greater Toronto areas. Vaughan would also be in that range. So basically 6 out of the top 11, or essentially 8 out of the top 15 would be in and around the greater Toronto area. What's notable about Toronto, a 1-bedroom condo looking in around that $2,300 a month mark right now, down about give or take 1% from last month, but down 7% from last year. The main cause of that is because we had several buildings all complete at the same time, which definitely brought that rent down. As these buildings were rushing to get in new tenants because there was so much availability, it definitely created less of a demand for those units, and basically it was a race to the bottom. So that's where we saw those prices start to go down. Now the caveat is, of course, those buildings are brand new, so there is no rent control, and those rents could be increased in the future to the current market values. But as of today, we are seeing those prices down about 7%. That's on a 1-bedroom condo, which is essentially $2,300 a month. If we're looking at the 2-bedroom condos, we're looking at just over $2,900 a month. Basically, month over month, it's gone up actually. So we're seeing that demand still continue for 2-bedroom units, but down 10% from last year. Last year, we're looking at around $3,300 a month, give or take, for a 2-bedroom condo in the city. And the other caveat to this is Toronto is a pretty big area. So if you are looking for the downtown core, I would add $100 a month, give or take, to these numbers just because of location and being more central where you maybe don't need a car. So if we are considering those new buildings, a lot of them didn't have parking because the unit sizes generally don't give parking in the new buildings if you're under the 2-bedroom marks. Now you can take a look at some of these charts on this article. It's on rentals.ca. It's actually a great national rent report. They team up with Urbanation now to get the best data when it comes to rentals. Toronto's been hovering anywhere from May 2023, $2,750 to around that $2,600 a month mark. And keep in mind, as mentioned, that's basically all property types combined. Now, if you take a look at the average asking rent, the 6 largest markets, annual change, Toronto down 7%, Vancouver down 6%, Ottawa up 0.4%, Edmonton up almost 1%, Montreal down 3.3%, and Calgary down 8%. This is notable for Calgary because there was a big rush to Calgary for pre-construction properties and getting those investor units in Calgary. They were being advertised a ton. Now we're seeing those Calgary rents down the most year over year at 8%, just marginally beating out Toronto by basically 1%. And the last piece we'll show here is in Toronto, a 1-bedroom just around $2,300 a month, a 2-bedroom give or take around almost $3,000 a month, and a 3-bedroom, which we actually don't see a ton of. And if you do see them, they're not very big anymore. A lot of the new 3-bedroom units are essentially glorified 2-bedrooms with a den, essentially around $3,500 a month. And that price is much different in around Vancouver at $4,400 a month. So big jump there. So those are the rents basically halfway through the year. Now, there's one other thing I wanted to mention. If you are a current renter looking to own your first property, or if you're an investor looking to get into the market, is that we have seen prices change quite a bit year over year in the condo space for the city of Toronto. If we take a look at what these costs look like, and I did another video that discusses them, essentially the average price for a condo right now is down, give or take around 7.5%, which is about a $60,000 savings. Interest rates down about 1.25%. And if we are looking at the monthly payment, that monthly payment now is about $700 a month cheaper, as you could see here. So down from basically $3,750 to $3,080. So it's not quite covering the rent, obviously, as we just went through the rent numbers, but it's definitely a big savings over where things were last year. And that $700 a month of cash flow is pretty big when we look at where things were versus where they are now. It's a really big jump. And if you were considering making a move into the condo market or into the freehold market for a rental property, click on that first link down below, scan the QR code. I'm Michael Ouzas. Thanks for watching.